inning.
We know how to do it quick.
Yep.
Springboro High School would like to thank Premier Health and Miami Valley Hospital for being our official sports medicine provider. This talented team of sports medicine professionals are dedicated to keeping our athletes safe and healthy.
Are we ready, Richard?
Introducing your
Text me.
Premier
Let
Health
me know.
Sports Medicine team, Dr. Michael Herbenek and Dr. Jeffrey James, and certified athletic trainers Eric Kane and Noel Kane. To learn more or to find a physician, visit us online at premierhealth.com/sportsmed. Premier Health, our care lives here.
Richard, let me know, bro.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'll wait for this. Is it done?
Yeah, I'm done with that. Are you done with that? Welcome, America. I'm here today off because you got it. I'm trying to get my drink over there. Thank you.
We're not answering.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this on the van.
This time, your Springboro Panthers.
So I guess no pregame. I hope our mics aren't ready for the game if they can't.
It'll take us like 2 minutes.
We could do it during kickoff too. I hope they hear us then, because if they didn't text you,
Actually, no, he already called me and we talked about it. He said he could hear me. So if he can't hear me, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't answer his phone. Can you hear them in the van? Is anyone talking? Ask them. Hey, so
Ladies and gentlemen, our colors are being presented by the
sounds good.
Springboro High School Junior
are we gonna have
ROTC.
time before the?
We live in a great country with freedoms like no other. To honor America and all those who've given their lives defending those freedoms, please stand, remove your headgear, and sing along if you wish, as the Springboro High School senior choir members and chamber choirs sing our national anthem.
By the go to the
Jeff, about 5 seconds.
Hello and welcome into Care Flight Field for tonight's MVCC Game of the Week. It's Week 10, and tonight we have a highly anticipated matchup between the Springboro Panthers and the Miamisburg Vikings. And ladies and gentlemen, there is playoff seeding on the line. I'm Andy Horton, along with my partner Jeff Allen, and we will bring you guys tonight's call. Jeff, tell us what Miamisburg is going to have to do to be successful tonight.
Well, first we'll start off with the Vikings coach, Andy Lance Schneider. He's finishing up his 3rd year in Miamisburg, coming from Northmont, and he's established a new culture. Offensively, the Vikings are going to have to get that running game going. Springboro has the worst rushing defense in the entire conference, so they'll really have to take advantage of that. They have that stretch play. They have the zone plays. We'll see if Christian Davis can do that. Another offensive key for them is sprinkling in that deep play. It worked last week on their huge upset on number 2 in the whole state, Springfield, so they'll have to keep Jackson McGowan's hot hand going. On the defensive side of the ball, the Miamisburg Vikings will have to contain Evan Russo and get pressure on Sam Feldman. And Andy, what does Springboro have to do to win this game, you think?
So on the opening kickoff, Corwin Hunt is going to bring the ball back to around the 24-yard line. But for Springboro, the head coach, they're coached by Ryan Wilhite, and the Springboro community knows him very well. This is his 16th season here, so when you talk about culture, he's really built something special here. He's won a lot of games with this team. So what are they going to have to do on offense, Jeff? They're going to have to feed Evan Rousseau. He has nearly 800 yards and 7 touchdowns this year. He's been absolutely amazing. They're going to have to keep Sam Feldman clean. He can get out of the pocket and keep plays alive on his own, as they're going to hand this one off up the middle.
And a fumble. It was fumbled by Barry in the backfield. They recovered it.
And also, like I said, they're going to have to keep their quarterback clean. So then on defense, they're going to have to double Jackson McGowan. Like you said, Jeff, he had an amazing game last week. Really was their entire offense on their way to an upset win last week over Springfield. And then they're going to have to watch out for the two-way star, Corwin Hurt. He is a great defensive player, but he also has 3 rushing touchdowns this season. So in order to be successful, they're going to have to make sure that they have an eye on him. Davis in motion. They're going to hand this one off, and they got a guy who's free up the middle. That is number 4.
That's Copsey.
Drew Copsey. And that is the first down of the game.
He's been a very versatile weapon this year, Andy. Copsey going for 330 rushing yards on little plays like that, as well as 5 receptions for 82 yards and a touchdown. So he's sprinkled over the field. One of many Vikings weapons they have
Ball on
offense.
the 44, snap and handoff. That one, it's to Davis this time, and he's going to get across the 45. It's going to be about a pickup of 6 on the play. Going to be 2nd and 4.
And this is a solid Springboro Panthers defense. They have a lot of skill, Andy, but just haven't put it together and made huge mistakes throughout the season. That's why the record is what it is. But you got an all-conference player, possibly all-state player in the backfield, in the defensive back department, Nathan Coy. He's a leading team in tackles. He's 2nd in all of GWALK, and he has 2 picks to go along with it.
McGowan goes in motion. This is going to be a handoff up the middle. And it looks like the back is going to pick up a couple before being
That's
stopped.
Akio Perry, Andy. He is their big bruiser. They hand the ball off to a lot of different people. You'll see some versatile looks tonight. You're looking at Christian Davis getting the ball, Drew Copsey, Connor Smith, Corwin Berry, Baylor Stickle, and then that's the big guy they bring in for the heavy toolage, Akio Perry there.
You say big guy, he weighs in at 215. He's a hard back to bring down.
Not to mention his center of gravity. He's very close to the earth.
That is for sure. 5'8" on that. And this time it goes out to Davis, and Davis is going to pick up a couple, and he's going to dance forward to around the 46-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down.
And that Panthers sideline is pumped up. You heard a burst over there.
So now out to punt. I believe that is Sam Feldman.
Oh, no. Sam Feldman plays for the Panthers. That's Thomas Monning. Oh, and a snap over Monning's head.
And he's
And
going to be
he's
able to get that one off, and what a beautiful kick.
Wow.
Talk about a broken play, but able to turn that one around, and that's one of the best kicks I've seen all season, Jeff.
Way to quite literally think on your feet. Monning more of a, honestly, for a high school kicker and punter, he is very solid, middle of the pack in most of the statistics, but he gets it done. You know, he can hit those 30 to 40 yarders and get you punts like that.
First and 10 Panthers from their own 21-yard line.
So now this will bring out the exciting Panthers offense. And they've had bursts throughout the year, being inconsistent mostly. You'll see Sam Feldman at the helm.
Ball is on the 21, and he's going to take the snap. This one goes up the middle to Russo, and he's going to churn forward for about a pickup of 3.
Yeah, and if you talk about this Panthers offense, you got to mention Evan Russo, 3rd in G-Walk and rushing yards, 3rd in average, and he has the 2nd longest run of the year as well. 72 yards, 7 touchdowns. Very, very solid high school player.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the game, Jeff, but his usage rate on this offense is absolutely insane. 36% of their plays go to Rousseau. That one is completed to number 12.
Feldman's pass is caught by number 12, Alan Hopkins.
That one is Alan Hopkins.
Gain of a couple yards on the play.
So it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Good short yardage play. This is what the Panthers is going to have to do. This Miamisburg defense is the 4th ranked passing defense in all of the conference.
This one is a handoff up the middle, and that is Rousseau again, and he is
Just chugging his feet.
carrying defenders across the 40 and down to the 43.
Evan Russo getting a little passionate on senior night, although he's a junior.
And
Playing
he's
his
trying to get a win for his teammates, that this is going to be their last time playing here at home.
And also, he has that Drew Baker kind of build. Doesn't look like a super huge guy, but weighs in at 185, and you got to think that's a lot of compact strength.
You saw it right there on that play. This time it's up the middle to Rousseau again, and there's another big hole across the 50 and out to the 46. They
Just
are in
beautiful.
They are in Viking territory, Panther
Beautiful
territory.
play design. And you're looking at a Miamisburg defense that has allowed the 3rd most points out of any defense. They've been finding ways to win games, much like last week, Andy, but they get exposed a lot, and you saw that on the draw play. The 2nd and 3rd level started to fall back, and Russo just burst up the middle.
Huge hole there on the play.
Very compact formation here for 2nd and short.
No one lined up to the left side of the field. This one is going to go back to Rousseau, looking for a hole, and he's going to turn for about 2 more yards, get down to around the 44.
And kind of scats in there. Wonderful way to run.
He's very patient.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot at this level of football. Evan Russo, you already seen that ball carrier vision early. When you look at some of these kids' stats, you also have to consider the competition of play they've been at. G-Walk has been very competitive this year, very unpredictable.
Feldman takes a snap this time. Looks like he's going to keep it. He's going to rush upfield, find a hole, and he's going to get across the 40 in around, looks like, the 36-yard line.
And not super mobile Feldman is, but kind of has the same kind of tendencies as Landon Palmer a couple years ago. You know, he has that athleticism to access when he needs to. Has 2 rushing touchdowns on the year, 72 yards, so he can get it when he needs it.
This time back to Rousseau, and he's going to get hit right around the line. Looks like he's maybe going to lose one on the play.
Phenomenal tackle. Number 37, Aiden Dyer on the play. You also Brock Harris on the play. Brock Harris was phenomenal in the win at Springfield, winning Player of the Week honors for Miamisburg High School. Had a sack and was just rushing Smoot every chance he got.
One of the big reasons why they were able to get that huge upset last week.
Yeah, he's a player to watch for sure, number
Feldman is
57.
going to check with his sideline, get his play call in. Now the snap. He's going to hand this one. And
Russo!
He has a huge hole.
He has daylight. He's crossing the plane.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Up the middle. It's a Springboro
Evan Russo possibly breaking 800 yards on that drive. I could easily see him get 60 yards on that possession, Andy, and his 8th touchdown of the year. Making waves. And this is a guy who also has 1 year of eligibility left, Andy. He's going to be a senior next year, and he's going to be heavily leaned on in this offense.
And that is great timing for his 8th touchdown of the season. Great way to start off this Week 10 game. First drive of the game, able to punch it in early.
And high stakes as well. Very, very high stakes.
And we'll talk about it more in a little bit, but playoff seeding is up for grabs tonight, and these two teams are both hoping to get wins to solidify their seeding.
And Jaden Williams, this will be something to look at tonight, Andy. The kicker for the Panthers has only hit 1 field goal all year, and it's been a 29-yarder, so they don't have a lot of faith in that leg. He also has the lowest extra point percentage in the entire conference, so that could end up affecting the game in a mass amount. But nonetheless, he nails it there, caps off the 7-point drive led by Evan Russo. And that Miamisburg Vikings defense, reminiscent of the Fairmont game, got bullied there. The second and third levels were not able to handle the run at all.
Yeah, they just got, like you said, Jeff, bullied by a more physical, tougher, offensive frontline unit and just pushed around on that possession. It's a good time to give a quick shout-out to our sponsor, Kettering Health. Thank you guys for sponsoring us this season, making it possible for us to do everything that we do here.
Yeah, really been guiding the year all 10 weeks. This is the last week of NBCC Game of the Week football, so enjoy it while it's here. The squib kick
is off, and that one almost rolls out of bounds, but it does
wow.
not.
And definitely a mistake there. He should have let that rumble,
and now
but
there's
he's
a cut-up field. And that could have been ugly there for the Vikings, but they are able to get that one out to around the 20.
And that was Preston Barr right there. He had a kick return touchdown earlier this season as well, so definitely something to look at.
For a second, when he found that lane, it looks like he might have been able to take that one back, but
yeah. And
good,
only
good
a
special
sophomore.
teams defense.
Only a sophomore as well. He plays basketball. That's I know him. Plays on the JV team, so Preston Barr, someone to look at going forward. It's a playmaker for these Vikings, but a block in the back brings it all the way back. And this is rough starting field position for the Vikings here.
Looks like the ball is on the 3-yard line.
Wow.
That's a tough place to start.
And this Viking offense really requires a lot of space. This is going to be tough to see them. It's going to be tough to dig themselves out of the hole here.
The screen pass to the outside. That's McGowan, and he's able to get to the second level, get to around the 11-yard line.
Fantastic job. And that kid right there, Andrew, went off last week. 150 yards. Just phenomenal. 3 touchdowns. He had all 3 touchdowns in the victory.
7 catches.
7 catches.
Just absolutely outstanding last week.
And Jackson McGowan, he could start to get some lower end D1 offers. He's a junior at 6'5", 220 pounds. The kid is uber athletic and knows how to find the ball in air.
Now, like you said, 6'5", 220. Like the size, the frame, his great body. And that one is going to be rushed. Looks like that is number 3.
Pitch out goes to number 3, Connor Smith.
Connor Smith.
Made by number 1, Nathan Coy.
So you'll see a lot of that stuff from the Vikings tonight, end around, trying to get them into space. But I really think Christian Davis is the key here. You notice he had a good amount of yards this year, averaging 4.2 yards a carry, 432 yards, 7 touchdowns. Really solid year, but only touched the ball 104 times. And I really think he needs, on the rushing side of the ball, that was 8th in the conference. He needs to start getting the ball more.
I agree, Jeff. But he was also pretty involved in the passing game, 19 receptions last year. Barry's going to throw this one, and that one's going to be incomplete. He was rolling out to his right and unable to complete that play.
An excellent coverage from who else? Number 1, Nathan Coy. Keep your eye on him. He is a Tasmanian devil in that secondary.
71 tackles this year and 2 interceptions. He's a ball hawk.
Sideline to sideline, and sometimes you'll see him dropping down on an outside blitz. It's a really versatile player. So, again, look out for Nathan Coy tonight.
And he's very good at reading the quarterback's eyes and figuring out where he's trying to go with the ball.
And it's his last game, possibly, as a Panther.
Barry slings this one, and that one goes to
That's Connor Smith once
again.
again. And you got another one of these versatile playmakers in Connor Smith. 23 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown on the rushing side. And hauled in now, 16 receptions for almost 200 yards and a touchdown there. So Connor Smith moving around.
3rd and a short 1. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
And the thing I also like about Connor Smith is his return potential. He's very explosive in open field.
Smith goes in motion. This one up the middle to Davis. Not much room. And it looks like he's going to get it, but just barely.
Tackle made by number 32,
Cameron Messenger in on the stop. It's a good play by the defensive end, able to get in the backfield. The better play by Christian Davis, able to make something out of that.
Yeah, Tristan Phoenix, the junior outside linebacker, also in on that play. Great job by the Panthers containing that one. Still a renewal of downs at that.
This one goes to Smith again, and he's getting a lot of work here early. He's going to make a guy miss, get to the outside, and step out of bounds.
Great run there. Get about
to the
6 or 7 yards. If they can do that every time, Andy, they will be very successful tonight.
pushed out of bounds by number 23.
And did a good job getting out to the edge here early in this game.
Yeah, and I'm expecting you'll see Connor Smith, playmakers like that early. And they also, Drew Dunaway doesn't get talked about enough, only has 11 receptions for the Vikings, but he is 3rd in yards per catch at 19. So big breakaway potential there.
A lot of
Number
big
11, Drew
play
Dunaway. So
ability.
keep your eyes on him. I feel like they'll go to these playmakers early and then hit Jackson later in the game.
2nd and 3. Smith back in motion. This one's going to go back to Smith. He's going to find a little lane, but there's not much there. Maybe a pickup of 1.
And those trenches are rough. It is week 10. The playoffs are on the line. The Vikings are are a week removed from one of the biggest upsets in the past decade when it comes to football. Springfield was the most dominant team potentially in the state. You got St. Ed, you got St. X, of course, but man, Springfield was really putting a beating on every team. In football math, Andy, it makes no sense at all. Fairmont beats Miamisburg 24-6. Springfield beats Fairmont 17-0. Miamisburg beats Springfield 22-21. I have no clue what happened there.
Just like you said, Jeff, football math does not make sense. So there was a penalty on the play, and that is going to give the Vikings good field position. Ball on the 46.
Wow.
And a half-yard line.
And big mistake here early for the Panthers defense.
Talking about such a big upset. When we were getting ready for the game yesterday, Jeff, we looked at the replay of that winning touchdown that McGowan had. So close. Photo finish.
That was actually Davis on the 2-point conversion. It was insane. It was insane how close it was. Barry drops back.
He's going to throw this one deep, and that is nearly intercepted. Ball goes through the hands of who else? I believe that's Nathan Coy.
So close on the outside edge.
Correction, that was number 9, Cade Lamb.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic defensive back as well. Has a fumble recovery and a forced fumble this year. But Nathan Flynn's also a guy you want to watch on the outside, as well as Mason Leach. He's also a corner, as well as a wide receiver. He has a pick this year, about 30 tackles. So Springboro has the talent on defense. It's just about those little mistakes that they leak out here and there.
The Vikings come up to the line. This one is a pitch to the outside. There's a little lane across to the 50.
Pitch out goes to number 4.
Copsey.
Bruce Copsey.
And he got about 5 yards there. And very compact so far this game. Interesting approach from the Vikings. Sometimes they'll mix in this formation, but they have gone with this single back formation now about the entire possession. And most of the time you see them space out. So
They have not had a lot of wide receivers out on the field here in the early going. They're really trying to pound this thing and enforce their will.
And like I said, this is one of the worst rushing defenses in all of GWalk, so it makes sense that they're trying to penetrate here.
Copsey in motion. Barry looking. He's going to run, and now he slings it to the outside. Beautiful throw, and I believe that's pulled in.
That was a gigantic hold. That was a gargantuan hold.
And as Jeff says, there's 2 flags out on the field. So that one is going to come back. It was a nice grab by Copsey, though.
Yeah, no, that was a good play. And good job by Barry getting out to the right, really feeling it out. But, yeah, the only reason he was able to get out there, as you saw there, is that holding call. That was on number 72, Abel Go. He's only a sophomore. That makes sense, trying to protect his QB, but you saw he got to the edge, and the Springboro defensive end got yanked down.
3rd and 19, McGowan lined up all the way up against the sideline. And Barry's going to be taken down behind the line.
That'll be a sack. Jacob White, the senior linebacker, on the play.
Making an impact here on senior night.
Yeah, it's so interesting. He is the 3rd leading tackler on this team. And more of a containment type of player, right? He doesn't usually get to the edge and make those plays a lot, but Jacob White on senior night, something to go out on. Something to tell your grandkids.
Yes, sir.
As this first quarter ends 7-0, Springboro is up. The Vikings have a good drive going here right now, though.
That's for sure, Jeff. And as we head into the second quarter and the teams switch sides, we're going to get to talk a little bit about the playoff seeding and everything that could go down here tonight. So, in order to move up to 7, in order to move up to 6, the Vikings need to win tonight. They also need for Fairmont, Perrysburg, Jerome, Dublin, and Findlay to all lose, and they can get up to the 6th seed. And then if the Panthers win tonight and I believe Liberty loses, then they can get up to 10. So both of these teams really hunting for a big win here tonight, trying to move up in the standings.
High stakes as well, and if the Panthers, they can still get style points as well. That's always a thing in the playoff picture if you get a really big win. So a lot of possibilities tonight as the Vikings punt it back to Springboro.
A nice punt. That is going to take a Panthers bounce.
Yeah, that's a Burrow bounce right there.
Spot the ball at the 43-yard line.
And out brings Sam Feldman. And even more dynamic, the man beside him, Evan Russo, who really made that last drive happen. And the way he drives his feet is tremendous.
He's such a strong back. He only has 2 fumbles this season. He's been so good with the ball in his hands.
Fantastic balance as well.
Feldman, back to pass. He's going to throw this one
deep.
deep. He's got an open man.
Oh, my
and that one's going to be
goodness.
pulled in, I believe.
Feldman's pass is complete.
It was reeled in.
Field, he hits number 2, Mason
That was
Leach.
Mason Leach on the play.
It was a great play by Leach.
The big game for the Panthers.
And that's a number 1 wide receiver. We haven't talked about him a lot. He's 3rd in GWalk in receiving yards, Andy. And they'll run it back.
Laura Olery.
No huddle almost. Feldman, quick pass.
That one is number 12 out in the flat. He's going to pick up a couple yards there on the play.
Number 12,
And that's
Alan
Alan
Hopkins.
Hopkins. Once again.
The second catch of the night.
made by number 32.
And he's been a perfect
The gain of about
number
5,
2.
second down and 5 from
And they also, we haven't talked a lot about Luke Zier.
Panthers are going to keep it going. This time, looks out, finds this Hopkins again, goes around the blocker on the screen, and is going to get inside the 10.
And I love what Feldman is doing here. keeping it going. They're keeping them off balance. And Mason Leach with a tremendous play. And he was great last week.
First and goal from the 8-yard line.
Comes back doing the number one thing out in that receiver slot.
10 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the game. And the ball is on the 8.
Panthers playing really
Hand
quick.
off to Rousseau, and he's going to be swallowed up at the line.
Russo running up the middle.
Another great play by Aiden Dyer. And Coleman also on the play.
Gain of a yard on the play. Second and goal from the 7.
And another X factor for this game is none other than the Miamisburg middle linebacker, Luke Myers.
He was sensational last week, Jeff. Handoff up the middle to Rousseau, and there's not much room. It looks like he's going to get up to around the 6. He had 12 tackles last week against Springfield, Jeff. He was all over the field.
Remember what I said earlier, Andy, about the trust with the kicker. It's going to cause a lot of different situations here out by the red zone.
It's now a 3rd and 6. 3rd and goal from the 6. Feldman's going to roll out. He's looking, throws this one deep and out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, good decision, playing it safe. But you got to compliment the Vikings secondary there. Really just cutting off all options, and it looked like they watched film on that one. They had it read from the jump.
And, you know, I really like the decision there by Feldman when you have Jackson McGowan back there playing safety. You know, you just throw that one out of the back of the end zone. Don't give that big target the ability, the chance to maybe pick this ball off.
I remember Jaden Williams, only 1 of 1 on the entire year.
This one is almost blocked. That one is wide to the
No
right.
good.
No good.
And we talked about it already 2 times this game, and it becomes a problem early. That trust with Jaden Williams. And they have one of the best punters in the entire conference in their quarterback, Sam Feldman. He's punted the most times. He's first in net yards, first in punts inside the 20. You got to wonder how does that not
Why don't
translate?
you use him for the field goals?
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing, Jeff.
Must not translate as the Vikings get the ball back. Big opportunity for them here to capitalize on this mistake.
As they take over on the 29-20 remaining here in the first half. Man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Davis. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play.
And he had a little room, but that quickly went away.
Looked like 25 Connor Smith along with Standifer and number 32.
Fantastic
Cameron
play.
Messenger on the play. A lot of Panthers following the ball on that play.
By Wyatt Standifer. That's 44 tackles this year for the Springboro defense. Came up big in the middle there. This Panthers rushing defense is really starting to step up tonight. Not allowing a lot.
2nd and 7, ball on the 23. This one is a handoff. I believe that's Davis again, and he finds much more room this time up across the 30, and he's going to pick up a first down.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was close, but they're going to signal the chain gang, and that'll be a first down, and this gets the momentum going as you're hearing this Miamisburg sideline jump up a little bit.
First down yardage for the Vikings. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
So out comes Barry.
Ball on the 31. McGowan lined up to the left. It's going to be a handoff. This one, I believe, that is Hurt.
That's Copsey once again.
For Cupsay, the ball carrier. And it
He's
will get
getting
made by
a
number
lot of looks
32,
tonight. Him and Connor Smith have been the
25 Connor Smith.
main point of this Miamisburg offense.
On the play. It'll set up a 2nd down and 7 from the Viking 34.
The Vikings coming out once again. And they are 2nd in average yards per rush in the entire conference. The Miamisburg Vikings are. That counts everybody, that very versatile lineup of runners.
They've been gashing teams all season long. This one goes up the middle to the big back.
To Keo Perry once again.
Quick hitter up the middle.
So third down and very manageable. Looks about 4 or 5. Curious here. I would definitely start utilizing more of these screen plays, right? You've been running with 4 different ball carriers. I think it's time to spread around the pass a little bit.
Well, and when Christian Davis is such an effective guy to catch the ball out of the backfield, you'd think maybe hit him with the screen pass. He's so good in open space.
Very down with the pass on cue.
And that, I believe he's hit as he throws. Or no, it was just, I believe it slipped out of his hand.
Wow.
That'll set up a 4th down and 4 for the Vikings.
Justin Berry.
So that's going to be time to punt.
He's been in the lower half of the conference's starting quarterbacks when it comes to completion percentage. But that's also due in part to his volume as well. Miamisburg runs a lot of plays.
Thomas Monning back on for a second punt of the night. And gets that one away. That one's going to bounce at about the 33 and then take a Viking bounce to about the 29.
That was Nathan Flynn back there on the return. Didn't get to touch it, though. That'll bring Feldman back out. And this Miamisburg Vikings offense has looked kind of stale tonight, Andy. What do you think they got to do to get it going?
Well, I mean, I definitely think that they're going to have to start finding Mason Leach. He's been so good this season.
Talking about the Vikings offense, how to get it going? And so Feldman brings the Panthers back on now. But yeah, that Miamisburg offense is going to need to start hitting some short rhythm plays or something. Going to have to get the vibe of this team going. You're in Care Flight Field on senior night. It's not a favorable situation anyone wants to be in as you hear the drum beating. Play clock getting down to 3, 2, 1. And I believe that'll be a timeout. Yeah, that'll be a timeout for the Panthers. The Panthers have actually been really successful on the offensive side of the ball tonight. They got 2 huge chunk plays that really defined their presence tonight. So another timeout. Another stoppage in the play. Still 7-0. It's been a very quick first half. These teams gashing up, munching up the clock.
6.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
This has been the opposite of last week's game, Andy.
That's for sure.
So Feldman, the Panthers, still looking confused. They get the playoff.
And pass is completed near the first down. That's Hopkins, his 3rd catch of the game. He's been very involved here early.
Yeah, very active. Only about 15 catches on the year, but still.
So pick up a 8 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2 from the 37.
The juniors here on senior night are getting it done for the Panthers so far. There's still some communication going on between Feldman and the sideline. Play clock runs down once again, Andy.
And Feldman fakes a handoff, and he's going to put it on the ground, and it's going to be picked up, I believe, by another Panther.
Yeah, that was a good read option. Just didn't quite pay attention to that
Good
ball.
awareness by number 70, able to jump on top of that.
That is Matthew Apple, Mikey's little brother, I believe. And Andy, in last year's game, Springboro blew the Vikings away. So different players, different cultures, different teams, but so far it's looking like the Panthers got the Vikings number once again.
Yeah, and last year it was a crazy game. This time, Rouzeau is going to get the handoff, go take it to the left side, and pick up about 4 on the play.
He's upended, did a little somersault there.
And like you said, Jeff, in last year's game, Mikey Apple and Titan Case just dominated this thing, as Titan Case, I believe, had like 9 catches, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was absolutely absurd. Fun player to watch, and sad that he has moved on.
We'll see who's going to set the tone for the rest of the game tonight.
Rouzeau up the middle. He's going to break a tackle and then get upended at the 50.
The second time Rouzeau's gone up in the air. So a fantastic tackle by the wide receiver Jackson McGowan out there at safety. Didn't know he had that much power in him. Rouzeau, that can't feel good. Flipping 2 times in a row on a football field. But there the young man is, tough as ever. 3rd and 2.
Being hit by the biggest player in the defense. Third and 1, ball on the 50. Hand off to Rouzeau. There's no room.
Oh,
He's
my
gonna
goodness.
Spin out of a tackle, jump over a tackler, and then get out to around the 47-yard line.
This kid is absolutely ridiculous. And that's all balance there on that play, Andy. The way to bounce off momentum and still not only be aware of where you are on the field, but be able to propel yourself further. Another excellent play by Rouzeau here. No doubt the player of the game up to this point.
A 36.5% usage percentage. This time Feldman is going to keep it. And he's going to get across the 45 down to around the 44. Like I said, 36.5 usage percentage coming into tonight's game, and I think that usage percentage is only going up.
Yeah, and I feel like it's justified when you see how many yards this man is getting per play, especially on this Vikings defense.
Just about every play taking more than 1 man to bring him down.
Yeah, the Vikings defense 4th overall, but 7th in the rush. So you see two of the 2 bottom rushing defenses in the entire league tonight.
Man in motion, back to Rouzeau. He's going to make a man miss and back across the 40, and he's going to come down around the 38.
Yeah, and this could be a barn burner, Andy. This could be an action-packed game if Miamisburg finds the same success on the ground. Because technically speaking, the Panthers' rushing defense is worse statistically.
Just not tonight.
Just not tonight. Football math does not make sense.
Feldman in the gun. He's going to keep it this time. Gets to the outside, finds an edge, and he's going to get down to around the 30.
And just eating up this Miamisburg defense. And again, I'll bring up this point, allowed the 3rd most points this season, so there's definitely holes in.
And, you know, Feldman is no Lamar Jackson type player. He's not going to go and rush for 100 yards a game, but he can get you 15, 20 yards a game, and he'll get those yards at very important times for his team.
Yeah, big body as well.
Fakes the handoff, slings this one to the outside, finds his man. He's going to break a tackle, 2 tackles, spinning,
Mason
stays on
Leach.
his feet, gets to the outside.
Mason Leach
inside the 10.
What a marvelous play.
You see his excitement when he gets up, shaking with excitement.
Now that's a senior right there.
Beautiful play. Great effort.
A way to get the sideline buzzing.
The Panthers are going to hurry back up to the line.
And remember, in the red zone, they were coming off a missed field goal.
Red zone agent, Laura Ullery.
Feldman moving around the pocket. Throws to the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Into the end zone. It falls incomplete. Defended on the play by number 11, Justin Davis.
Justin Davis was the intended target. He was closely covered there.
Yeah, Justin Davis, fantastic coverage there on the play. Another good Miamisburg defensive back. And Springboro has to be thinking touchdown or nothing here.
Especially after their last kick attempt. This time it's a pitch to Rousseau. He's looking for an edge, tries to cut back, and he is hit and taken down by number 37.
Down to about the 5-yard line.
It's Aiden Dyer once again. And he has been moving sideline to sideline tonight really well.
Been all over the field.
And just last week, the game lasted 3 hours, Andy. This first half is down to a minute left, and we're only 40 minutes through the game. So it definitely shows you the difference in whatever it was. Quality, reffing, a lot of
There's
differences.
not 35 penalties.
50
Man in
seconds left.
motion. Feldman looks. He finds his receiver.
And it's incomplete. Oh, and I think they'll call the flag.
I think
That'll
they're
be
gonna
on Justin
throw
Davis.
Pass interference on the play.
What a tough task, though, to guard Mason
Number
Leach.
11 on the defense. Has to miss the goal.
So 46 seconds left here in this first half.
And a fresh set of downs for the Panthers.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult for this Vikings D to hold up. They're blowing the whistle. Seems like a lot of miscommunication between the Springboro staff and the Springboro offense tonight. A lot of chatting. Confusion here. I don't believe they called the timeout. Getting a little extra time here. Okay. And they'll roll the clock. Making sure everything's reset, I'm sure. You got 2 out to the left, so watch that at the top of your screen.
He's going to fake the handoff.
Russo at the
go up
Wildcat.
middle, and there's nowhere to go.
What a tackle by Corwin Hurt. Had a perfect read option, stayed home. Open field tackle.
And he's able to get in the backfield and make the stop.
That was a Miamisburg senior making a play there.
About the 4-yard line.
So 18 seconds. And the Panthers still have a timeout. They have 2 timeouts.
It looks like they're probably just going to kick the field goal.
Wow, they're going to
and go
gamble.
into half.
They're going to gamble on Jaden Williams' leg going into this first half. I did not believe they would do that.
They will be facing a 4th
And kicking is very hard. No one really realizes how hard it is. But still, this is a man who's missed 5 extra points this season. So,
Putting a
Very-
lot of faith in him.
yeah, especially
Very late into the season.
when you have 2 timeouts left that you're not going to do anything with. It seems like an odd strategy, but Panthers are in control of this game for a reason, so it's a strategy to everything. And to put more perspective on how football math doesn't make sense, the Panthers have been firing on all cylinders tonight. They've looked better than the Miamisburg Vikings, no doubt about it. The Springboro Panthers lost to Springfield 27-0. They had under 100 total yards. Miamisburg Vikings beat Springfield last week by 1 point,
And you know
22-21.
what do they say about football, Jeff? Any
given Friday.
Friday.
Yes, sir.
The Viking sideline is
Speaking of
making
Friday,
some noise. Getting
and they're going for the
loud.
touchdown, Andy. 3 seconds left. The offense is out there. Russo,
Feldman's
play
gonna
action.
Fake it.
Feldman,
Has an open man.
the touchdown. Luke Zier. The #1 tight end in all of the Greater Western Ohio Conference, coming in clutch at the end of this first half. How about it?
His 23rd catch of the season, and that is his 4th touchdown, and it comes at no better time.
Yep, and that's first amongst all tight ends. All those categories except for yards, first amongst all tight ends in GWAC. So Luke Zier establishing his legacy, him and his brother, here at Springboro tonight. And Care Flight Field, we got a good one so far in the first half, Andy.
Williams kicks. This one's up and good.
Williams kick makes it over the crossbar. It's good.
And that is going to do it for our first half of the Week 10 MVCC Game of the Week, brought to you by Kettering Health. 14-0. Panthers going into halftime, and we'll be back.
I think it's just because it's cold
Stand by,
outside. I think
ladies
usually
and
has pretty
gentlemen,
good
for a
battery.
performance from the Miamisburg Viking marching band.
Huh?
I plan on getting an iPhone 12 because it's more durable. Because they finally made the iPhones more durable when it drops. You just got an Android, and you hate Androids.
Huh?
We all hate Androids.
No,
Yes.
it's far superior.
Well, iPhone 12 is now.
Well, I mean, here's the funny thing. Apple is coming out with a new phone that my phone is already better than. I'm not even kidding. The new Apple is
13.
not as good as my phone.
Let's call Apple 13.
Huh?
Apple 13.
I don't care. I'm still kidding.
I am cold. I'm running cold.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Hey, bro, you haven't messaged back in the chat, so we don't really know. No, like I was just waiting for your message back in the chat. That's why I was calling you, because you're good, bro. I was just trying to get clarification. You're good. I'm not tripping at all. So we're all meeting at your house then? Okay. Alright, so we'll go. Fuck, okay. That should be fine. Did you message Helena yet? Okay. Yes, sir. Decompress, bro. Let's make it better. I'm ready. The only thing I'm salty about is someone's got to pick up Zach. So I guess I'll pick up Zach, but it's gonna take me a little longer to get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Miamisburg Viking Marching Band is proud to present the second and third movements of their 2021 competition show, Caravana, featuring Native Sense by Chick Corea, Emmanuel by Michel Colombier, and original music by Andrew Markworth. The band will be led on the field tonight by drum majors Molly Witzerman, Rowan Thompson, Libby Bellert, and Megan Homan. Please welcome the Miamisburg Viking Marching Band.
We're taking Caleb's car to Columbus. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We'll just leave it at Caleb's, but I'm gonna leave my car up. Okay, are you gonna be there by 9:15?
Hello and welcome back into Careflight Field here in Springboro, Ohio for the second half of Week 10 of our MVCC Game of the Week. I'm Andy Horton along with my partner Jeff Allen, and the temperature is dropping, but the game is starting to heat up, Jeff. It's 48 degrees out, and it's 14-0 here as we're getting ready to start the second half. What do you expect the Vikings to do in order to come out and try and get this thing back in their favor?
Well, it's time to gamble. It's time to throw the dice on the board. It is the last game of the season. You came up short against teams like Fairmont. You're coming up short against Springboro here when you just beat the number 2 team in the entire state. They know they got it in them. I think the Vikings just need to come out here slamming 10 to 20-yard plays at a time, rip off some chunks, get some momentum going. Let's make this senior night at Careflight Field an interesting one.
Sounds good, Jeff, and we're just about ready to kick off as Thomas Monning is going to come out for the Vikings. And Jeff, just a little piece of information. About a minute ago, we just saw him hit a field goal from the 40-yard line. It's going to be interesting to see if that maybe plays a role here in the later stages of this game.
Well, as long as 42 on the year, so we'll see if he gets opportunities to show that. But right now, they need 7, Andy. They need 7 at a time.
And Monning kicks it away. And that one is going to be fielded and taken across the 20, make it across the 30 and out to the 35. It's going to be pulled down around the 37-yard line.
Yep, and that was senior Nathan Flynn, defensive back on the play. So out comes Feldman in this Panthers offense. And they had some huevos on the last drive, Andy. They went all the way down, led the clock to 3 seconds, had one play, didn't kick a field goal, ran it up the middle. Well, actually, no, it was a play action. Play action out to the left. Wow, yeah.
For his 4th touchdown of the season. And if they can come out and score here on this drive, they might just end this thing here on the first drive of the second half.
Very bold plays.
Hand off to Rousseau, and he has a hole up the left side, and he's going to get across the 50.
And there was the money man in the first half, Evan Russo, eating up these Vikings. And Feldman, he played really well. He had some big plays, had some runs, but for the most part, Evan Russo is the heart of this Panthers offense. Proves it there once again. And just the way he finds holes and explodes.
Ball on the Vikings side of the field now at the 49. Handoff again. Rousseau is going out to the outside, gets the edge, and takes a big hit right around the 45.
That was Jackson McGowan, the all-G-Walk wide receiver on the outside.
Had a couple of big hits on the defensive end so far here in this game.
Got to watch out for number 84. And here comes Allen Hopkins. He was a huge part of that Panthers first half.
2nd and 6. And Feldman's going to keep it. He's going to do a little jump step out to the outside. And he's going to pick up about 1.5, maybe 2 on the play.
Yeah, and Brock Stevens to the outside had him. But again, you see Jackson McGowan coming up from that safety spot and punishing anyone who gets to the 2nd and 3rd level. There's a big man hitting you. Looking at about 3rd and 4
here. You ever seen
here.
a 6'5" safety before, Jeff?
No, I have now.
Feldman figuring out his play at the line.
They tried to get him off sides. Feldman needs to run it. Wilhite telling him to run it. Has 3 seconds left on the clock.
2 and gets it off just in time. He's going to keep this one. And he has a hole, gives a big hit, and goes out at the 32.
Goodness. Jackson McGowan.
Knocked out of bounds by number 84, Jackson McGowan.
And on that one, Feldman and McGowan just decided we're just going to hit each other really hard on this one.
Who wants it more? And you saw him race to the sideline. Good designed quarterback run from the Springboro Panthers. You saw the left side of the line kind of pull out to the left, create that hole.
A very effective first drive here in the second half 2 minutes already ticked off the clock. Man in
receivers.
motion. Hands it off to Rousseau, and he's going to push the pile.
Russo running the ball up the middle.
Get the
powers his
ball
way
inside
across
the 30.
30-yard line.
I like what the Panthers have been doing tonight. Giving Miamisburg a lot of different looks, a lot of different formations, and not being predictable whatsoever.
57, Brock Harris also in on the play.
So switching up the formation here, you see guys
Second down, 5.
running all around, and I think there will only be 2 receivers here.
Ball on the 29, and Leach is in single coverage to the bottom of your screen. He's going to hand it off. Who other than Rousseau, and he's going to get to the outside. I believe he's going to pick up a yard, get out to the 28-yard line.
Another manageable third down.
Taken out by number 11.
And what you haven't seen a lot of tonight is Panthers' mistakes. They're executing almost every opportunity given.
Third down and 5 from the 29.
Feldman is completing 56% of his passes this season. Tonight, it's a much higher percentage. He's been making very good decisions.
Yeah, on senior night, too. He is the leader of this team, no doubt. Been on this team for a while.
Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, finds his tight end in the flat, and he's got a lot of room. He's going to get down to around the 10.
Complete the pass to Luke Zier.
Luke Zier having a huge night here on senior night.
Big Luke Zier, he's paving the way also on these runs. A lot of people don't give him credit for his run blocking. He gets out there, gets downfield,
And the Panthers find themselves
paves the way for
inside.
Russo, and there you go. You get him on the receiving
Ullery
end,
Real
too.
Estate Red Zone, powered by your Springboro agent,
Nothing
Laura
better than a
Ulrich.
dual threat tight end.
So ball on the 10.
Yeah, and you're going to have 2 out to the left, 1 receiver at the bottom. You see Zier, the left side of that formation, lined up in the tight end spot.
And Leach once again singled. And
Feldman.
Feldman's going to take the snap, try and rush up the right side, and there is no room.
Keeper,
Aiden Dyer, Luke Myers
37, Aiden Dyer.
on the stop. We talked a lot about
57.
Luke Myers this year.
Harris also
He
with
has
the
been
ball.
the leader, that center fielder of that Vikings defense, and boy, do they need him right now.
72 tackles entering tonight's game, and he's picked up quite a few more.
And he leads GWAC, but this Vikings defense needs some life right now. If they get this stop, this could be huge. This could change the entire momentum of the game.
2nd and 10. Man in motion. Feldman is going to look. Now he's going to look to run. He finds a little lane. He's going to take a cut inside and going to be brought down around the 5.
And this Luke Myers once again, sideline to sideline,
Tackle made by
playing
number
everywhere.
32, Luke Myers along with 37, Aiden Dyer. Gain
Another
about 5 on the run.
Another good stop by this Vikings D.
From about the
Last time they didn't hold up, they had 1 play. They had 1 job. They let it leak through.
Looking to bend, but not to break.
Big red zone.
6:50 left here in the third quarter. Feldman back to throw. He's looking, finds no one, scrambles, fakes it,
Feldman
rush
in
up
the
the
middle.
middle, dives, touchdown, Feldman.
The Panthers on senior night are getting it going.
And what a beautiful run. He had all sorts of room, a clean pocket, was looking for days, and finally fakes the pass, finds a little lane, and dives into the end zone.
And he has been exquisite tonight, Andy. And all year you've seen him on and off. It depends on the matchup. It depends on the defense. Not tonight. Sam Feldman is on point. He is executing. And I guarantee you if they get this win and they go into the playoffs, he's not falling asleep tonight.
He's been excellent, like you said. That one is nearly blocked. But Hurt not quite quick enough to get there.
6:40 to go, third quarter. The Panthers.
So it's 6:40 remaining here in the third quarter. It's a 21-0 Panther lead over the Vikings. And let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Kettering Health. Been with us all season long, allowing us to do what we love. So we thank you guys.
All 10 weeks. Again, this is week number 10. Kettering Health has been with us. And what a year. Up and down year. Crazy games, bad games, good games. We've seen it all so far.
We've seen a lot of blowouts, but we also seen a couple of really close nail-biter barn burners. So Had a great season. Thank you, Kettering Health.
And thank you to all those watching at home for enjoying this game with us. There's nothing like being a part of these Friday nights.
So Feldman is going to line up to kick this one away. And he's going to squib it up the middle. It's going to be picked up, and it's going to, number 6 is just going to fall on that one.
Kick was fielded by number 6, Mason Penrod.
So here we go. The Vikings are coming on offense, and it has to feel discouraged with how that first half went and how the first half ended. Not only that, how the second half began. Their defense did not do them any favors.
It's been a very rough start for this offense. You really got to think that Jackson McGowan is going to be a huge part if they're going to get back into this game. Man in motion and hands it off to that man. He's going to cut up the field. He's going to pick up a few on the play. That's Connor Smith on the carry that time.
They need to get something going. And I can't stress this enough. They're a week removed from beating the second team in the entire state. A team that ran through the conference with ease. And we went through this stat yesterday. Springfield has allowed 43 points this season. Half of them are to the Miamisburg Vikings in one game.
And just a week removed from that game, their offense is just unable to get anything going in the first half.
4 wide for the Vikings now.
Smith in motion. Barry back to throw. He finds Davis, and he's going to take that one across the 35 out to the 36.
They're those little rhythm plays. You get your playmakers involved.
That's Davis's 20th reception of the season. He's very effective when he's able to get out in space.
Fans, get up on your feet for
The
pizza.
clock is moving.
Springboro cheerleaders are in
We're
the
only through our
stands now
second
with pizza boxes. If they
second
give you a
possession.
pizza, it's a free pizza for you. And
Second
be it
drive of
in
this
carryout.
second half, and
Out on
we're halfway through it,
73.
over already.
Center is up to donate to
Very
pizza.
fast-paced game tonight.
On
For
your
already
feet for
3rd and
pizza.
5, hand off to Hurt. He's going to jump cut, and it looks like he's not going to get there.
Wow. And the momentum of that Panthers defense, they are just playing with another sense of urgency tonight.
They've been all over the ball. There's been no room for the Vikings here tonight. And so Thomas Monning is going to come on to give this ball back to the Panthers.
And Lance Schneider has to be frustrated on the Vikings sideline.
Really been a tough night for the coach. The offense has not been very productive. The defense has not been able to get many stops. A rough night here for the Vikings. Monning gets the punt away. That one's a boomer down to the 27-yard line. It's going to be grabbed by Leach, and he's going to take that one across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Bring out Feldman and the Panthers, and it seemed like they just scored a few minutes ago. And here they are back on the field. And if you need a little perspective on how the Vikings have played tonight, 32 minutes, 2 offensive first downs the entire game. So a lot to look at if you're these Vikings.
A lot to be desired as well on the offensive end. And I'm starting to think if you're the Vikings, you got to hope that you can get a defensive stop. Maybe Hurt gets an interception, gets something. It fakes a handoff. This one, Zier is going to get it. He's going to go across the 50, being brought down at about the 44-yard line into Viking territory. And Zier's been really good here in the last few minutes.
Been thunderous. His impact on this offense is ridiculous. And again, you also have to admire the way he blocks an open field.
Only 22 catches coming into tonight's game. He has 3 already, and he's been picking up a lot of yards on those catches.
Let's say those are gigantic catches as well.
1 for a touchdown, and the other 2 at least 20-yard pickups.
He's in motion right now.
Going to hand it off to Rousseau, and he's going to pick up about 2 on the play.
Luke Myers in on the stop. That's actually the backup back of Flynn on the play. Solid little run given to Russo. A little break, but you see the Panthers love to run the zone look on the offensive line when they run the ball. It is working out, especially when you have mobile blockers up there. Zier is just a staple of that offensive line.
Connor Smith and Zier lined up to the right side of the line. They're going to fake the pass or fake the handoff, and they are going deep, and that one is just out of reach of Leach.
And that was going to be good. That was going to be a touchdown if he put the right touch on that.
Impressive seeing Leach run down the field on that play. He was just striding past defenders. Ball just a little out of reach.
Outstretching Jackson McGowan. McGowan was back there in the center fielder role, and Leach he still put himself in position. And as a receiver, that's all you can really do. 2:55 remaining in this third quarter already. Big third down here for the Springboro Panthers.
Feldman's going to take the snap, finds Leach at around the 30. He's going to make one-man miss, spin, and he's going to be pulled down around the 24.
And Miamisburg's thanking God for Corwin Hurt out there. Great open field tackle. But how about these Panthers on senior night in Care Flight Field, Andy, getting it done?
Agile, explosive wide receiver dancing over along the sideline. Pick up a couple extra yards on the play.
Feldman gets the call. Panthers are going to set up, and they're going to go back to that wildcat. Oh, I thought it was Feldman exiting to the right. Feldman's still behind center.
Zier goes in motion. Hand off to Rousseau.
Maybe Brock Stevens and Corwin Hurt. And that's someone that you highlighted in this week's game. Number 1, Corwin Hurt. He's been all over the field.
He really is a great player, Jeff. He's very good on the defensive end, and he averages about 9 yards a rush when he's able to touch the ball on offense. Has 3 rushing touchdowns so far this season. Be great to see him get involved a little bit more on both sides tonight. The pitch to Rousseau finds the edge, cuts upfield, and he's going to be hit and taken down. I believe that's 32.
Yep.
Luke Myers in there for another stop.
Yeah, Big Luke is definitely racking up a season leading GWalk in tackles. I don't think anything's going to change after this game. And no doubt will be first team all-conference. Maybe even look at all-state for Luke Myers.
At 72 coming into tonight's game, and he's probably already up over 80.
Clock ticking down now, almost under a minute. The Panthers 14. Are back in the red zone.
Feldman, the snap, the handoff. Rousseau's going to cut upfield.
And he's definitely, clearly getting that first down. And so deflating for these Vikings. They come up short on the stop once again in the red zone. Springboro leading 21-0 in the red zone. It seems like they've spent most of their time of possession within the 20 yards of Vikings territory.
Feldman is barking out orders to his line.
This could be the last play of the quarter, folks, so pay attention.
Zier back in motion. He's going to give this one to Rousseau. He's looking for a hole, and a great tackle there by Jackson McGowan.
Yeah, he might have given up the touchdown there. And this kid is excellent everywhere he goes. Jackson McGowan, truly a special player, as you see there. Number 84.
He was able to get there and not allow Rousseau to really turn upfield.
And they'll let the third quarter end. This fourth quarter seeps into existence. And you got to wonder if there's any more hope for these Miamisburg Vikings back against the wall at the end of this third. And they do not look optimistic going towards the sideline. And as you see on your screen there, another shout out to our sponsor, Kettering Health. This MVCC Game of the Week, number 10. It is a brisk night in Care Flight Field. Winter creeping around the corner, and so are the playoffs, Andy. The Panthers are looking to get into that 10 spot, as you talked about earlier. And, boy, it looks like they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're definitely doing their part of the work. Now, like I said, they also need for Liberty to lose tonight as well to get up to that 10 spot. It's going to be interesting to see after the game what is going on in that part of Ohio.
Miamisburg has to be confused, like baffled. They're coming off of probably the biggest, the deepest high of these young men's life, of beating number 2 Springfield, and to come into Care Flight Field and just be trumped like this. Wow, 21-0 heading into the fourth quarter. That's not even the final score. So, gotta wonder how Schneider and the Vikings are feeling. The confusion, the utter confusion. Sometimes these Friday night lights aren't always nice, folks.
Second down play coming up.
Now back to the field we go. Ball on the 7, and Feldman is commanding his offense.
This is 2nd and goal, so look for Russo here. Play action. Feldman. And it skipped across. Looks like he was going for Allen Hopkins there across the field. Great coverage by Hurt right in front of him. And now you got to start thinking, as the Miamisburg Vikings, this may be your last quarter of football. If you don't play, if they don't catch back up, this could be last game of these young men's career. So definitely another layer there.
Well, so let's be clear, Jeff. Both teams are making the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So we're just deciding seeding in tonight's game.
Gotcha, okay.
Now Feldman looking. He throws this one up to the corner. And that one's going to be pulled in.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
what a play. Touchdown.
Wow. Wow. Speechlessness from the Miamisburg Vikings.
And I'm not sure who the receiver was on that one. But a beautiful play nonetheless.
TJ Offen, a senior. Another senior getting it done. Probably the best play of that young man's career.
Jump ball in the back corner of the end zone.
And you can't write this stuff up. You can't script it.
And the extra point up and good. And though Williams has struggled with the extra points this season, tonight he has been perfect, 4 for 4.
And that's the story of the Panthers' night. Though they have struggled this season, they have been merely perfect tonight. And I'm sure they feel good about the Vikings beating Springfield because that gives their playoff run more validation now.
We also got another score update. Fairmont is currently beating Beaver Creek 22 to 8. And I believe Wayne is up 28 to 14 as well. Scores from around the league.
A very interesting G-Walk Week 10. The Panthers go up 28-0 on the first play of the fourth quarter. And at this point, if you're the Vikings, you're playing for momentum. You're playing to get into these playoffs. If they lose this game 28-0 compared to 28-14, those are two different games.
That is for sure, Jeff. And this kick is received and brought up to around the 38. That is where the Panthers are going to start this drive. Excuse me, the Vikings.
Vikings offense on the field now, 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
Now out brings QB Justin Berry. And he had the best game of his career last week. 16 of 28, 260 yards.
Takes the snap, hands it to Davis. He's going to find a little seam, and he's going to get up to the 44.
Nathan Flynn all over that. And that has been the Vikings offense. You're looking at it. Just about every time they get on the field, 4 plays of that right there. You got to give credit to the Springboro front 7. Not letting anything pass them today.
And, you know, in early going in this game, they did a really good job of getting to the edge and being able to pick up yardage out on the sideline. But so far here in the second half, they've had none of that. That time it was Copesy on the carry up to the 45.
So about 3rd and 4 here. And a gargantuan 3rd down conversion. They haven't been able to, again, 2 first downs still in the entire game for the Vikings. This will be huge. Not only the game, for the rest of the season if they can get some offense going here.
Jackson McGowan to the top of your screen in single coverage. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to find McGowan across the 45. He breaks the tackle.
And he won't go down.
Get to the 40 before he's taken down out of bounds along the Viking sideline.
Biggest play of the game, and if you're a Vikings fan on this sideline, you're like, where was that the entire game? Justin Berry, quick completion of McGowan on the outside. That's what won him the game a week ago, right there.
Just feeding that big monster.
A monster he is. It's Miamisburg from the 40-yard line now.
Corbin Hurt is going to come into the game for the Vikings. Smith in motion, hands it off to Smith. He has Davis out in front as a blocker. Jump cut back towards the inside. He's going to get across the 35 down to the 33-yard line.
Miamisburg getting some big plays now. And everybody's been waiting on this the entire game. I think even the Panthers have been waiting on this the entire game.
And, yeah, like you said, if you're the Panthers, you did not expect to come in here and just steamroll this entire game. So you really have to, like you said, expect for this Vikings offense to get going at some point here in these late stages.
They keep the clock running here. Barry
Takes
sets up.
the snap, drops back. He's looking. He scrambles. And Barry is going to be pulled down and slammed to the turf.
Phenomenal play. And number 4, Jacob White, the senior linebacker, is getting it done tonight. Getting down and dirty. He's been one of the bigger parts of this defense. And so far tonight, 2 sacks. First 2 sacks of the entire year. And he's a senior as well, so going out with a bang.
What a senior night we're having. I've never seen a senior night where all the seniors are just firing on all cylinders.
They are capitalizing tonight. Play clock down to 0, and I think they'll use a timeout here. So first stoppage of play in a while. This one has been a fast game. So we are at an hour and 36 minutes total. 8 minutes left in this 4th quarter, and it seems to be a blowout so far.
Yeah, there's not been much resistance from the Vikings in this one. Only 2 offensive first downs in the entire game.
So timeout strictly related to play clock issues. No doubt they'll have a scripted play here for 3rd and short. Look for the end arounds, look for the screen plays, look for those slants.
Hurt lined up out wide, along with Jackson on the other side. Gonna take the snap.
Going deep.
Fire it to Hurt. And that one is pulled in, I believe.
Unbelievable, Andy.
At the 2-yard line. And the biggest play of the night for the Vikings. Moves them into the red zone and into scoring position.
And Hurt only 3 receptions for 29 yards on the season. So senior coming up big on defense tonight a lot and coming up big at the end. Getting into the red zone for the first time tonight for the Vikings.
Now 8-10 remaining. This one goes up the middle.
And that's a touchdown for the Vikings. Who else? Number 1, Corwin Hurt.
His 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and could not have come at a more opportune time for the Vikings.
And say what you want about the team and how they've handled certain situations tonight. That young man has played his soul out. With 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter, Miamisburg not only gets their first big drive, but their first score.
Monning on for the extra point. Up and good.
And the lack of that 0 is really going to add into their playoff equation as well. Good score, good drive by the Miamisburg Vikings. Now, if I'm the Panthers, I want to go out there and I want to spend 40 seconds in every play.
Want to milk this clock as much as you can, but on the other end, if you're the Vikings, you're really thinking now is our time to really put the pressure on. It's still a 3-score game, but if you can either get a quick stop or force a turnover, this thing could change very, very quickly.
And I'm thinking turnover, honestly, if I'm the Vikings. That's what won them the game last week. You look, they had 0 turnovers, limited penalties. Springfield had 2 turnovers, and those were gigantic.
And let's not forget that Sam Feldman fumbled earlier, and his offensive lineman was able to fall on top of that one. That could have been a game changer. And now the Vikings are going to line up for an onside kick. And right as Monning is preparing to kick it, there's a flag.
Might have been a false start.
I believe it was a sideline warning
Interesting.
against the Panthers.
Huh. You don't see a lot of sideline warnings. The teams that are up 3 scores with 8 minutes left.
Now Monning gets that
Onside
one
kick.
away. And there's going to be a fight for it. This is going to be interesting, Jeff. It didn't go the 10 yards, but I think the Panthers touched it first.
Yeah, but I think the Panthers fell on it as well. And you see it. It's going to be Springboro's ball. So great effort by that Miamisburg special teams, though.
Couldn't have kicked that one any better if you're Thomas Monning.
So out brings the senior leader, Feldman. And these Springboro Panthers have been firing on all cylinders tonight.
And Monning is still out in the middle of the field talking to the refs. He wants an explanation for what just happened.
Yeah, you got to tip your cap to the young man. He's very passionate.
Now we're going to have a conference at the middle of the field.
Illegal block, Miamisburg, 10-yard penalty.
So the illegal block on the onside kick is going to give the Panthers the ball much deeper inside of Viking territory. The ball is now placed on the 39.
Not a good situation for Miamisburg here. This very dangerous offense has been ripping them open.
Feldman in shotgun. 2 backs with him. And take this one, hands it off to Rousseau, finds the edge. He's gonna go, and Rousseau keeps his balance. He's gonna go down at the 2-yard line. Rousseau was so close to a touchdown right there.
What a run! Oh my goodness! And he might have been out of bounds. We don't know. And that's the bad thing about high school is you can't see the sideline.
Don't have those sideline cams. And it looks like there's going to be a hold, so I believe this one is going to come back.
Yeah, and great call by the refs. I didn't think it would be called.
Springboro, repeat first down, 10-yard penalty.
So holding call on the Panthers, and that was a very momentous run, but
Penalty goes against the Panthers. It'll set them back to almost midfield. It'll be first down.
Interesting to see if that's going to
20 for the Panther offense.
really make a difference here in this game. Once again, Feldman lined up in the shotgun.
the split formation backs on both sides. Zier in the slot.
We're
Same
going to
exact
hand
play.
it to Rousseau again, who's going to find another hole up the left side, and he's going to get it back out across the 40 to around the 38.
I believe that was the same play with the screen fake and everything. So.
Nearly a similar result as well, as he almost broke that tackle and stumbled away.
And good job by the Panthers, able to block that. And you'll see this Miamisburg sideline slowly start to clear out here as the clock ticks down to below 7. And they don't even have the ball.
Feldman now figures out the play from the sideline. Up the middle to Rousseau, and he's going to have another hole. He's gashing out to the 19.
Finds some running room up the middle across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and
He's got to be approaching 200 yards tonight.
Yeah, and shout out to this Vikings defense. They have really been trying, but
Number 18,
combined with the Rousseau's ball carrier vision and the Panthers' offensive line ability to get up to the second level has been a dangerous combination tonight.
I was just about to say, Jeff, the offensive front for the Panthers have been so good tonight. He's clearing holes left and right for Rousseau, really making it easy on him. Once again, Rousseau, and there's not much room on that one.
The Vikings front getting it done that time. Halfway done with the fourth quarter in this Week 10 MVCC Game of the Week. Sponsored by Kettering Health. Panthers up 28-7. And the clock still remains to run. And play clock down to 3. I think they'll call a timeout. You'd think they'd want to keep the clock running. So even some confusion here late in the game on their play calling. This has been a common theme tonight, so hopefully they'll get this figured out by the time the playoffs hit. Because there's not a lot of room for confusion and miscommunication once you get to that higher level, that postseason.
Yeah, once you get to the postseason, you only have the best of the best. Not going to have any easy weeks, any easy victories in the playoffs.
This will be a second down, so the Panthers still having the opportunity to run a little bit more clock. So they're breaking the timeout huddles now. Really not much left to say about this game. And honestly, probably an unnecessary timeout for the most part. Nonetheless, the Panthers come out here. 3 receivers, Zier in the tight end spot.
Feldman back in shotgun.
Taking some more direction from the sideline.
Hopkins in motion. The pitch to Rousseau. He gets a good block from his tight end, and he's going to pick up a couple on the play.
Tackle made by 48, Camden
It's
Wilson.
a great job by Zier there to seal the edge, able to knock the defender off the path of Rousseau, and he's able to pick up a
Third down
couple.
and 8 now from the 23-yard line.
And honestly, if I'm the Panthers, that's exactly what I want. Those short little choppy runs. Keep that clock going. The Vikings looking to engage here. Get a big stop.
Zier goes in motion. Now Rousseau's
Rouzeau,
going to find a
huge
hole.
hole.
He's going to cut back to the outside.
Oh, my
and he's going to
goodness.
get to the end zone.
Running route.
Rousseau with an explanation point.
Touchdown Panthers. Evan Rouzeau,
Wow.
23-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers increase
You want
their
to talk
lead
about
here in the fourth
incredible tonight. That man right there, Evan Rouzeau, been on another level.
And if he didn't have 200 yards before that carry, he does now. He's been so good tonight.
And you notice the Vikings have had trouble with these star running backs
Alex Petroni
week after
on to
week.
attempt the extra point.
The theme continues here with 4 minutes and 30 seconds still left in this game.
Incredible ball vision by the back.
And with all these scores and all the Panthers' forward progress
Petroni's kick is
and these
good.
touchdowns,
4:32
this second half has been a lot longer than the first half, that's for sure.
7.
So the Vikings will get the ball back now. Down 4 scores. At this point, just playing for playoff momentum.
And since we got a minute, let's give one more shout out to our sponsor, Kettering Health, for sponsoring us this season. It's been a great 10 weeks.
Day or night, find easy
We're
access to
almost
Dairy
done.
Queen now.
So we thank you guys for being with us this season, allowing us to do what we love on Friday nights. So thanks, Kettering Health, as we're ready for the kickoff.
Visit PremierHealth.com. Premier Health, our care lives here.
Sam Feldman, the kickoff, see if it's another squib. And this Vikings offense needs to run some looks.
Kick bounces right up the middle, and it's going to be fielded and taken to around the 28-yard line.
Preston Barr, the ball
And the Vikings
carrier,
need to start
tackled at
putting
right
looks
about
out there
the
that
30-yard line.
they're
Offense will take
going
over
to
first and 10
use in the playoffs.
from the 30-yard
It's
line.
around the time where you start getting ready for that type of execution.
Remember, the north and south exits are open from the junior high.
You hear the announcer talking about the exits. It's that time of the game. 35-7, as you see on your screen. And I didn't think this year's game would be anything like last year's game, but we were wrong.
Almost a carbon copy. Last year it was 37-7. Can't get much closer than this. Barry's going to fake it, and this one he's going to find Davis, and Davis is going to get across the 50. The Vikings are not quite ready to write this one off.
Yeah, getting some momentum late in this game.
By number 1, Nathan Coy.
You got to be kicking yourself at this point. A lot of momentum that could have been had earlier in this game.
You just got to wonder why they ran the ball so much in the first half. Barely threw it at all.
And definitely the play calling's improving as they play more.
And now here in the second half, they're just gashing the defense. The fake handoff yet again. Christian Davis is going to pull this one in. He's going to get out to around the 44
Tackle made by
in
number
Viking,
40. Nick
in Panther.
Gain of about 4 on the play. It'll
Yeah,
start
and
with second down and 6.
And this is when
44-yard line.
this is what I envisioned all year from them. That this kind of usage of Christian Davis, almost in like a Christian McCaffrey type role, can move him around, constant volume. But this kid is a junior at the end of the day, so we'll see. We'll see how they start to use him in the playoffs and then into next season. He could be one of the best players in the state.
Now Barry back to pass. Launches this one to the outside. Copsey's going to reel it in and get out past the 35.
That one goes out of bounds, so it will stop the clock.
3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
The second half running exponentially longer than the first half. Holding penalty on the play.
The flag on the play.
That'll keep the clock stopped.
And that's going to back them up to their own 40.
That'll be about first down and 25.
Second and 22.
Second and 22. I think it resets it back to first down.
Barry takes the snap, back to pass. He's going to find Jackson.
Wow.
McGowan, and what a catch. The ball was about 2 feet behind him. He just sticks that long arm back there and reels that thing in. That was
I don't think anyone in the stands just appreciated what we just saw. That was magical. That catch was insane. Jackson McGowan showing off his elite athleticism once again.
Barely able to get his fingertips on that one, but pulled it in with ease.
It's just so easy to be amazed by this young man.
He's going to line up to the bottom of your screen all by himself in single coverage.
Barry running the ball.
He's going to pitch it out to Davis. I believe he was past the line of scrimmage because a flag is going to come out, but Davis is going to fight his way up to around the 45.
See, I believe that was a lateral. Honestly, I don't think that was forward.
And I think Barry is going to argue that. He's one of the offensive linemen is arguing that right now. He's having a conversation with the ref. But the Stripes will have none of it.
Springboro coming off.
Number 75, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And so it turns out it was a holding instead.
Penalty of push the ball back.
So that makes way more sense because I felt like that was a really good play that Barry pulled off there. But Springboro, you couldn't count them out coming into this game. They lost barely 28-24 last week versus Wayne in a really tough match. So it brought a lot of momentum here into this game, and they showed it, Andy. The Panthers played with authority.
You almost have to wonder how they came into tonight's game with a 4-4 record. This one goes outside, reeled in by Smith. That's a nice pickup on the play.
Yeah, good catch. Gets out of bounds real quick, stops the clock.
Out of bounds by number 9, Cade Lamb.
A ball on the 48, third and 14.
48-yard line. It'll be about 14 yards needed for the first down.
Barry looking really efficient here in these closing drives. You got to wonder what this game would have looked like if they started throwing the ball earlier.
They've had a lot of success here in the fourth quarter throwing the ball. Like you said, Barry's going to throw this one, and he finds none other than Jackson McGowan. He's going to, make that Christian Davis. Good job by the running back. Pull that one in and know where his feet are to be able to make sure they pick up the yardage.
First and 10 now from the Panther 37-yard line.
So an unexpected sequence of events tonight. The way this one has gone. The Vikings still have time to score one more time.
Barry back to pass. And he finds Copsey, who's wide open. He's going to get popped there.
Number 1, Nathan Coyle on that huge hit. The center fielder of the defense is going to go into these playoffs with a lot of momentum.
Coy was their leading tackler coming into tonight's game. He's been excellent.
Barry drops back. Going deep to the end zone.
And that one's going to be intercepted, I believe.
Who
that is Coy.
else? The senior captain of this team. What a way to end this game.
That is his third interception of the season.
And that's tied for second in all of GWalk. He's a top 3 in tackles, has a sack to his name. Nathan Coy is going down first team all-conference.
And what a way to end your senior night. Intercept a ball over the best wide receiver in the conference.
Yeah, what an insane moment this week for the Springboro Panthers. Really just exceeding all of their expectations for themselves, really.
And, you know, they really did a great job coming off that crushing defeat last week. Like you said, only a 2-point loss to Wayne. This week, they're able to come out and correct all of their wrongs from last week. They played absolutely phenomenal in this game.
Yeah, it looks like they'll have a couple of kneels, and that'll be it.
Feldman is going to take the kneel down, and we should have one more snap, I believe, in this game.
And what a year. We have seen just about every type of game we could see this year, Andy. And also for Jared Bergstrom, shout out to Kettering Health for being with us all 10 weeks. And the Springboro Panthers will come away with a victory 35-7 on senior night in Careflight and burst into the playoffs with an undeniable amount of momentum, Andy.
And they're going to rise up to the 10 seed with this win. What a huge night for the Panthers. Like you said, Jeff, we had an amazing season, a great 10 weeks, and we will see you for basketball season. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Andy Horton along with Jeff Allen. That'll do it.
That's all, folks.
Have fun, man.
Hey, are you going to that temple anymore?
Maybe what?
Because we're going down to the trailer and Ethan's coming.
Well, the thing is,